Hey, I'm Mike.
Hey, I'm Chris.
This is Mike and Chris Reloaded. And this week we got a couple guests to help us geek out a little bit.
And I think these are our first guests of the year, aren't they?
They are our
So you
first
guys should
guests.
feel privileged.
You are. You're honored.
So I guess from the left, go ahead and introduce.
Shine my shoe.
Hey, I'm Trent.
And I'm Brandon.
This week we are talking all things Star Wars, specifically.
If you couldn't hear by the soundtrack, but yeah, specifically what The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi, the new movie coming out December 15th this year. There's a lot of theories and questions and qualms and everything else about this thing, and we're just going to kind of talk about this and kind of, I guess, give our opinion on it.
Yeah, so the biggest question, I think, of the whole thing is, what does The Last Jedi mean?
Because anyone that knows Star Wars know that Jedi is actually singular.
It could be singular or plural. Yeah.
So that could mean a number of things. It could mean, The Last Jedi as far as all the Jedi there, or it could mean just the very last Jedi as opposed to just Luke or Rey.
If they are true Jedi.
If they are true Jedi. Yes, which going to kind of lead right into the very first thing.
Yeah, who's the first Jedi? Who's the last Jedi, if it was individual?
Yes.
My say is it's going to be Stokes.
Yes. Well, see, and that's the thing. They talk about first Jedi or last Jedi, and what are they referring to? Like the last one living, or the last Jedi known to man, or what I'm saying?
Because, Stokes, he says he saw the rise and fall of the Empire, so he's ancient.
Yes.
So we know that he's been around forever based on the last movie we watched.
And we know that Luke, based on the last movie, has been looking for the ancient Jedi temple.
Yep.
I'm assuming it'd probably have something to do with, taking down Snoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing that,
Is it Snoke or Stokes?
Snoke.
Snoke.
Is it Snoke?
Yes.
Yeah. Why the hell am I saying Stoke?
Because you're stoked about the movie.
I think I'm high or something.
Yeah, he's been stoking.
I've been stoking it up. That's terrible.
But yeah, there's a big thing how the ancient Jedi were way different than the Jedi they are nowadays.
Right.
They were a lot more powerful. They were able to control and manipulate the Force a lot better than regular Jedi.
Right, because Luke, Yoda, according to Yoda, Yoda said that Luke couldn't be a true Jedi until he kills his father. Isn't that how he said it in the beginning? That you won't be a true Jedi until you kill Darth Vader.
For the most part, yeah.
So there's a possibility where Luke didn't really fulfill his prophecy and become a Jedi because he became a little Force strong towards the end of the series, but he wasn't immaculately Force strong like Darth Vader or like Snoke's is apparently going to be.
Which leads me to some other things, theories and stuff I've been looking and reading about, and are you going to see Luke turn evil?
Yeah.
And will you see Luke turn evil for a good reason? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
In order to make Rey more powerful to fight, ultimately, I'm assuming it's going to come out to where it's going to fight Snoke. She's going to fight Snoke, but in order to make Rey more powerful to fight Snoke, she would have to sacrifice, something precious to her, which would be Luke, which I'm assuming is going to be her uncle. That's another big rumor thing. So if Luke forces her to fight him and strike him down, that would make her, basically give her pain or whatever, sacrifice, and she'd be able to, become, extremely Force adept or whatever.
Anyways, so what I'm saying is Kylo Ren being the student, and everybody makes fun of his crappy lightsaber.
Yeah.
But what if that was what the lightsabers were in ancient times, and that's why he's got it from Snoke's, and that was Trent. And shame on you, Trent. I'm going to fire you. You're not getting paid. You're not getting paid anyways.
Brandon's like, I'm turning it down.
I'm turning it down now.
I apologize.
And see, that's another thing too. Is Kylo Ren, or Ben Solo, as we now know his name to be, killed his dad.
Yeah.
Which again,
His suffering, maybe that could be.
He could be the last Jedi.
Yeah.
So you don't know. I mean, there's so much different speculations on these things. There's so many theories on these things. I mean, what do you guys think?
I think it depends also on the identity of Snoke, because was he always a Jedi, or could he have been just an ancient Sith Lord who might have seen the rise of the Jedi? Or who was he a master of? How old is he truly? Like I said, he lived through the Galactic Empire period, but what if he was around during the Clone Wars or even beyond? Because you don't know if he's human or not either. You don't know his true race.
Well, and that's the thing we talk about how how ancient he is, because I guess the ancient Jedi's were able to manipulate the Force to be able to live longer.
Yeah.
So, and now here's another thing: is Snoke really Pelagius?
Yeah, that's also another
Plagueis
rumor.
the Wise.
Darth Plagueis is the one that trained the Emperor Palpatine.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So and you're going back another 100 years right there, just this right there alone. So yeah, there's a lot of different things, and there's so much speculation, so cryptic on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, J.J. Abrams, who's also directing this one, come out and said, "No, Snoke is not Darth Plagueis."
No.
I mean, he straight up said it. Snoke is not. Of course, J.J. Abrams also told us that Benedict Cumberbatch wasn't Khan either. Look how that worked out.
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
See, my biggest thing would be Luke would be the last Jedi, because I mean, you think about it, you got Luke, who's the whole first, the original 3 trilogy were based off of, and then the second set, which we don't want to talk about, the originals.
That we shall not mention.
Yes, that we shall not mention. The originals were based on Luke's father,
Anakin.
Anakin Skywalker, and he's always looking for the temple. And the official Twitter account for Star Wars or Lucasfilms calls the new trilogy the Skywalker sagas.
Sweet.
So
Skywalker.
that's what their official name for the trilogy is the Skywalker sagas. So my belief is that it's going to be Luke who's the last Jedi, if there is only one. Now, like I said in the beginning, there could be 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a play on words. So whatever way we go, I don't know.
I'm gonna go what you said. Like you were talking about how Luke, he might do something like how you said, like he would turn to the dark side, doing good, like for a good reason or whatever. Well, like every time because how the Last Jedi, the logo is red, obviously. Well, I've noticed, there's 3 movies that have red logo. We're not supposed to mention those 3 that we just talked about, but I gotta do this. Revenge of the Sith, it was red, and each one was about a Skywalker. Well, you gotta think about Revenge of the Sith. No, technically, no one died, but also Anakin kind of did die. Like his good side died, and he had to go to the dark side.
He became Darth Vader.
Yeah, he became Vader. And Return of the Jedi, Luke had to. He didn't want to kill his father, but he was he didn't want to be suppressed by the dark side. But eventually, it was getting to him. But he didn't kill his father, and his father saved his life. And then, as we know, there was Last of the Jedi, or the Last Jedi, excuse me. It could be about him, like you said, turning to the dark side for a good reason, or whatever.
I mean, that is a good point too. You say Luke didn't kill his father, so I mean that could eliminate him from.
Yeah, he wanted to rule. Like his father wanted him to rule alongside with him, but then again, he wanted to get his father away from him, from Palpatine, because he wanted to be with his father.
Yeah, and in the end, Darth sacrificed himself for Luke.
He did, and here's the thing, though. It's like you talk about, okay, like in Return of the Jedi, you go back to Return of the Jedi, where Palpatine's like, good, strike him down, take my place at his side, you'll become more powerful than ever. Okay, is it something like a whole Highlander thing? There can be only one type thing. You kill him, and then you gain the power or whatever.
Well, I think the Sith want there to be only one Jedi left. I think if you look at all the movies, their goal is they want to wipe every movie, every plot line is they want to eliminate the Jedi from the world.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or from the galaxy or universe or whatever. That's what their goal is to get rid of them. So
Well, ultimately, the Jedi are good. I mean, where the Sith are evil. But, I mean, you don't. I mean, I don't know. You don't. I'm kind of with you on the whole, Last Jedi thing. It's like you have, like, in whatever the first movies, you had all these Jedi, the Jedi Order. I mean, there was, hundreds of them, obviously.
Yeah.
Just lots of them. The kids were being trained, everything else.
Younglings, yeah.
But were they actually Jedi? You know what I'm saying? Or were they just people who were Force adept?
right, like
You know what I'm saying? Because
like Leia.
everybody had different abilities. No one had the same type of. This had the lightning. They had
dark
just
side
different
opened up
things or whatever. Even Kylo Ren, his abilities in the new movie are just totally different than you've seen before.
Right.
I mean, did you see anyone stop laser bolts in midair and just hold it?
Yeah,
No.
You see what I'm saying?
That was pretty
Well,
insane.
no, he didn't stop in midair, but Vader, he kind of deflected it.
Yeah, Vader just deflected him though.
And then he
Yeah.
took his gun.
And Vader had his big thing was the Force choke. He had the
Yeah.
Force choke, whatever.
Right.
When you look at all these things, everyone had different abilities.
I'm force choking Trent right now.
Which it seemed to me like there was never a complete Jedi,
right, I agree.
and I guess you could say Vader was probably the closest.
Right.
Um,
So that would take us back to Snoke's being the last Jedi again.
exactly.
So we'd be back to where we started. Snoke's, you're evil.
So we accomplished nothing.
Yes, so we need to keep talking about this because we haven't explored all the theories. What if Leia was the last Jedi?
Well, yeah, she is kind of strong with the Force because you know how Yoda in Return is either Empire or Return of the Jedi. He said, "Well, there's also another one that is that has the Force, and it's
believe
obviously
Yes.
Empire.
Luke's Luke's sister." But
Well, and not to sound a bummer, but I don't think we're ever going to find that out now.
Yeah, no, because
R.I.P.
you were thinking it's in Return of the Jedi. Yoda actually tells Luke that there is another Skywalker with Force abilities.
Yeah, but she doesn't know that.
Right. Well,
She'll never.
Luke does tell her in Return of the Jedi. Yeah, he tells her.
Yeah, but I don't think she's ever gonna fully get to that potential.
We don't know. Maybe they'll bring in another actress.
Maybe.
I doubt it.
But yeah.
They're gonna kill her off. So.
This is a more simpler theory, but what if the Last Jedi just means Luke Skywalker is the last true Jedi that can train Rey just all together? He's the only one that's equipped enough, the knowledge enough to train her. And he goes to these ancient temples maybe to put her on some kind of trials.
That is true.
That is a
Because-
good point.
Yoda, and when he was on Dagobah, had the tree.
Simpler trials.
A little simple
but
trial, whatever. In all this we're talking about with Luke and Rey and Snoke and Kylo Ren, we're missing one big key factor too.
What's that? What are we missing?
What are we missing?
Finn.
Yeah.
Finn. Oh yeah. Yeah, I got some stuff written down about Finn.
Where does Finn play in all this?
Well,
Obviously, you saw in the episode 7. I mean, it seemed like he was somewhat Force adept a little bit.
I mean, he could use a lightsaber.
Yeah, aren't you supposed to
kinda
use the Force? Like, aren't you supposed to have the Force in order to properly wield a lightsaber?
Yeah, the Force.
Because if you don't have the Force, I guess it'd be either too heavy.
It's weightless, I think, without the Force, and with the Force, it brings weight to the
hilt?
lightsaber. Yeah, so it feels more like an actual weapon that you're using.
And if you remember, Luke
Skywalker
Skywalker was terrible with the lightsaber in the beginning too. So, I mean, Finn
he pointed at his face.
Yeah, Finn is a good possibility.
Yeah, good one.
And Finn is also an orphan who doesn't know his bloodline's the same.
Yep.
Same story.
And also, he was able to resist the with the way I guess when the stormtrooper or the troopers are what are they called? Where they converted them?
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, they kind of brainwashed.
Yeah,
him.
they brainwashed him or whatever.
They don't clone Jango Fett anymore. They actually use different people.
But if you watch the episode 7, they talked about how they whatever cloned them or did not clone, but
give them names like his was FN
reprogram him. But he was able to resist the reprogramming and rebel against it.
Right.
Yeah.
So which obviously makes his mind a little bit more adept to it, certain things or whatever. And even in the very beginning where Kylo Ren, and please, if you guys haven't seen this stuff, there's lots of spoilers, but where Kylo Ren had stopped a bolt, it almost seemed like he sensed someone else was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he sensed the way Finn was.
True.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a lot of that. There's that factor too. You got Finn, and you don't know where his role is going to play. And then, of course, you got Poe Dameron, which I think he's just going to be kind of the hot shot.
Yeah, he's the
Solo
new Han
type.
Solo.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you said, Brandon.
There's a huge rumor I was reading that he's actually going to form his. There's a squad called the Wraith Squad, which is like the best of the best as pilots. It's the X-wing Wraith Squad. It's based off a book, basically.
Uh-huh.
And there's a rumor saying that he's actually going to form this.
You're talking about reading stuff
I'm
again.
cussing at Mike right now, but they.
That's your one F word. You said you get to use the F word. You used it.
But yeah, they talked about Poe forming the Wraith Squad, which is supposed to be like the best of the best as far as pilots go. So that's another big thing. I guess that J.J. Abrams kind of hinted about doing that.
Right.
So a lot of this stuff are based off of comics and novels and stuff like that. A lot of the storyline I think they're going with.
Right.
If you ever read, in fact, there is actually a book called The Last Jedi.
Is there?
Yeah,
Yes.
there actually is.
You had me on that.
Originality.
Yeah,
I think I was in 4th grade the last time I read a Star Wars book.
But another big one was Grand Emperor Thrawn,
Yeah.
which now he's in
He's in the canon now.
what's that?
He was in Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah, he's in Rebels now.
Right.
But they gave reference to the who's the Colonel whatever guy that was in Episode 7 that was basically kind of like keeping Kylo Ren in check.
Oh, I can't think of it.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I
Oh,
knew you were
he's got like that
talking
black
about
head.
that.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
you're talking
they gave reference to him being a Thrawn-like character, but not actually Thrawn,
Yeah.
where he's going to be kind of play a bigger role in the way the new order is coming in.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So, and I know this is kind of deviating from the title as far as the Jedi, but all this stuff kind of I think plays into with each other.
Yeah, the storylines.
And the reason why is everything, because that's the thing about Star Wars is each episode tells a tale until you get to the last one and they all mesh together and it's like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Yeah, so, like, I just want to add one more little fact about Luke Skywalker being the last Jedi, because you have to go back to Yoda when he's dying. You know, Yoda says, Luke, when gone I am I the last Jedi you will be. So
Yeah.
back then, when Yoda's dying, he's telling Luke that he is the last. He will be the last Jedi.
And usually when like Jedis die, like they turn into the Force, and then that one becomes stronger and stronger.
Right.
Eventually gains more power, and what they need to do. So like maybe he.
Well, it's like even in A New Hope, Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
he's like,
he
when you
died.
strike me down,
Yeah.
I'll become more powerful than you.
Yeah, he became the Force itself.
Yeah. So, and again, this goes back to what I was saying. When they die or they kill, do they get somewhat of their Force ability? You know what I'm saying?
It seems to
Makes
be
them more
that they
powerful
would,
or
yeah,
whatever?
it would be seem the Highlander theory would be a substantial theory. I mean, every time that a Jedi has died or a Sith Lord has died, it seems as if those Jedi or Sith become more powerful and more Force adept than before. The other theory, I don't know, did we talk about in depth about Rey becoming the last Jedi?
Yeah, I think, and see, here's the thing. Rey obviously she's pretty powerful when it comes to the Force.
Yeah, she's
Because-
got Force.
Because
she even scared Kylo.
Yeah, because she, when Kylo was trying to get the lightsaber, she actually pulled it from him, which
And, like,
makes her abilities a little bit more seem to be more when she's not even trained on it.
And when he's trying to interrogate her, like she kind of scared him, and she was telling him how he'll never be like his grandfather, which is Darth Vader, of course.
Right. And you
So she's
talk
able
about
to resist his mind, resist the Force he uses, stuff like that. So,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say we talk about that to become a Jedi, they have to go through personal loss or pain.
Yeah.
And her losing Han Solo in that movie, because Han Solo
was like a father to her.
basically
pretty much.
acted as a father through the last movie to her, and is rumored to be her
As
father.
I said, acted as a father, or
is rumored to be her father.
Now, again, in the thing we're not going to mention that you don't like to read, Mike, the book. Sorry.
Damn you!
Set you up, knock you down. But in the book, Luke or Han and Leia do have twins. They actually have 3 children.
Oh wow.
Right.
But they
I
do
did
have
know that.
They do have twins.
I know they
Oh,
have.
yeah.
And in the book, also, one of the twins turns to the dark side, which is the son.
Mm-hmm.
And the female, the daughter, they end up fighting, and she ends up killing him. So,
Yeah. Hey guys, I just want to sidetrack for a second. I actually read that book. I think that was the 4th grade book that I read.
everybody mark this day on your calendar. Mark
Yes.
it down.
Yes, February 6, 2017, Mike admitted to reading a book. But yeah, I mean, it could be, I mean, and there could still be in the movies yet another child. They might be playing from the book a little bit. There might be another child that surfaces.
It's Finn. Oh, wait.
Wait. Dane? Well, Dane's white. It's possible.
It is
I know.
possible.
I was thinking I saw this one thing. It was like, well, Han Solo was in the carbonite at the end of Empire and all throughout Return.
Maybe Leia
And
got a little lonely.
with Lando, yeah, or Lando, my bad, excuse me.
Lando.
Yeah, Lando and her, and he was wearing his clothes, so
Well,
you never know.
maybe Jedi are like cats, where they can have multiple males and different sperm cells for each, and have multiple babies from different dads.
Hey, all I'm saying is Lando is one smooth mother. That's all.
Yes. Who's playing him? Michael B. Jordan? Is that-
No,
Danny
Danny
Glover.
Danny Glover.
Donald
playing-
Glover. No, Donald.
Yeah, Donald.
Donald Glover.
I don't know
Yeah,
if
Donald.
Yeah.
They should just get
in the Han
original.
Solo movie.
Yeah,
movie.
Yeah, they should just get the original.
I was
guy
reading
back
this one
in. I don't
thing.
care if he's old.
Billy D.
He
I
was
don't
like,
care.
I love Donald Glover, but he'll never be as smooth as me. I was like, wow.
I saw
like
that meme. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
funny as hell. So, well, to go back to Rey, so she's Force strong. She's an excellent pilot.
Yes.
She's a tinkerer.
Yeah.
I mean, these are all everything that Luke Skywalker was and Anakin Skywalker were. You combined together into one.
But
so.
she's also Force resistant.
Yes, she is Force resistant.
Yeah, strong mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, and then again, we go back to Jedi being plural, so it could be talking multiple people again.
And then she whooped Kylo Ren's ass.
Yeah.
Well, you think about it, and like you were talking about with the lightsaber earlier, the Jedi they're able to hold the lightsaber because it makes it lightweight, so they
Yeah.
can wield it. When she got the lightsaber at the end of episode 7 and fought Kylo Ren, I mean, it's like she was just a veteran of it. I mean, she just used her force, and it just let her force lead her way.
Yeah, as opposed
I
to
believe
like,
it was Skywalker's blade, wasn't it, originally?
Yeah.
yeah, it was her
Skywalker.
Another
father's.
thing, that's like I'm saying, it could be father-daughter. Maybe it recognized, her bloodline. That's why it came to her. Like
Yeah.
it was destiny.
I mean,
Then again,
that is a theory to go on. I mean, that
I mean,
Luke Skywalker
Is
That was
is
what I
Rey's-
first
father.
Rey's
That's what I
father,
first
yeah.
thought when I seen that scene.
Which could go back to what we were talking about earlier, where Luke would sacrifice himself. We were talking about having to kill their dad, father, this and that.
Yeah.
Luke had to kill Vader to be able to become the last Jedi, and he didn't do it. Now since Luke is the last Jedi, she'll have to kill Luke to become the powerful enough to fight Snoke. So
Yeah, I mean, it could be Luke, but then again, now you got on the other side, she's going to have potential loss of both mother and father now.
6 degrees of Star Wars.
Yeah, because Leia's gone, so I'm sure they're going to kill that character off or send her away to a faraway galaxy, never to be seen again. But I'm sure they'll kill her off.
I think you will see. I think you'll probably see Leia.
Excuse me.
Which a lot of people were kind of in uproar about it, but they already said they are not going to use any type of CGI on her.
yeah.
So I think they done filmed the movie, so she will be in episode 8
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
In fact, they already did the retakes on it before she had passed. But I think you will see some. I think you'll see her go out with like a little bit of dignity and class. I do believe they will probably end up because you can't have her in the last one. Which is actually probably, I think, going to be a whole total script right.
Yeah, probably.
Which I think why you're going to see Poe Dameron a lot more in the next 2 films.
Right.
Because originally, JJ, when in the first one, when Poe crashed, disappeared, whatever, that was it. That was the end of his storyline.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's supposed
And
to be
then
it.
everyone was kind of a little upset about it. So they're like, okay, well, they brought him back as the little pilot, they're towards the end and this and that. So now when they thought that he was going to be gone or not have a bigger role, JJ come back and said, no, Poe's going to have a really major role in the next upcoming films. So I think you're going to see a lot more to him and that arc on that portion. I mean, are we going to see another Death Star, maybe perhaps, or something? Or
I wonder if they fix the glitch that. Did they lose 2 Death Stars?
Yeah, the last 2. They destroyed the first one, and then there was one that we were already building. And
that was a planet though.
Yeah,
one in this episode 7.
That was Starkiller Base. It was called.
Yeah,
it was just like a complete planet.
That's crazy, and they still put the same plans together.
What's this exhaust port? Nothing. Just leave it alone.
Yeah. Oh, did you see? What was it?
Just blowing it up.
Darth Vader said there was a meme or a video like, "Did you fix the exhaust port on it?" And the guy's like, "Yes, we made it wider and less noticeable." And he's like, smacks his head.
That's pretty funny.
But yeah, basically, it could be, this whole thing could just be 1,000,001 different things, and I mean, I'm excited to see it personally.
Yes, I did. I liked the 7th one, even though it's supposedly a remake of Episode 4. But
are you gonna make me go to 3D?
Yes.
Damn it!
That's gonna be. I'm already telling you, Mike. It's gonna be our guy movie. So,
bro,
throwing that out there right now.
All right.
Hey, the last one wasn't bad.
I didn't get sick in it. My back was hurt. I had to get up and go walk down the steps and stand at the hallway.
I almost lost a kid.
Yeah, you almost lost a kid that wasn't even your kid, and but it was a friend of yours' kid, so it's okay.
Yeah. Another thing I want to touch on too was you talk about maybe Kylo Ren and Rey being brother and sister.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And you talk about the whole thing where Kylo was going all Hamlet on it, and he's like, "I'm going to finish your work, grandfather." Blah 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 blah. Okay, is Kylo doing this to infiltrate, to take down Snoke?
He could be. I mean,
like you talked about before, the Jedi have to experience loss, great loss, or whatever, sadness, to be able to, be free of their mind or whatever, to embrace the Force and be free. And even when Kylo, he killed his dad, killed Han, he was, very,
hesitant
he's hesitant, didn't want to do it, and then even Han's like, you know what you need to do.
And if you look at the scene, like you'll see, like Han, he's like standing in light, and then he's standing in the dark until you see, Saber, thrusted in like to his chest or whatever. Shows like he had fully emerged to the dark side and just wasn't having it.
I mean that's scary.
Yep.
Can you imagine a world run by Kylo Ren? Like undercover boss. Yeah, that was a good thing.
Sorry, I killed your family.
If you haven't seen the Kylo Ren undercover boss thing yet, you're living in a hole, and go watch it.
But see, even in the movie in Episode 7, Chewie had a dead shot on him.
Yeah,
he could have killed him. He could have shot him, but he didn't do it. Was that because obviously he grew up with Kylo, so it was almost like Chewie's like his uncle,
right?
Or is because Han told him not to?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good plausible theory that Kylo Ren wants to take out Snoke himself. So, and by killing off his father, he does encompass more of the Force now. He does actually get the opportunity to become a true Jedi, to fight to take over what Snoke's is. And what the hell is Snoke's, anyways? He does not look humanoid.
I always thought he was that huge for a minute, and I was like, oh, it's a hologram.
That's what I'm saying also, is he couldn't be human.
That
could explain how long he could live if he's back in ancient times to now.
Well, you look at Yoda. What did Yoda live?
No, he said, when 900 years you reach?
Yeah.
Yoda was 900 years old, too.
I've seen that meme where it's like, oh, the true identity of Snoke. It's like the stormtrooper that hit his helmet on the door in A New Hope. I was laughing so hard. It was
funny. But you could take these theories and you could run your own. I'd like it if you guys comment and spread the word and, let us know what your theories. Who's the last Jedi? Or who are the last Jedis, which is not right. It's Jedis. Jedi. So let us know in comments, and we'll be glad to answer you guys back and debate this even further. But I think we could talk about this all night.
And we probably could. There's so many different. And the thing that you see with all this stuff, it's like, as we start talking about one thing, it comes full circle back into something else that we already talked about.
Right.
It's like everything seems to keep connecting. So it's just like, where do you go with it? What do you do with it?
Right. And that plays good on the writing for these movies, too. Minus the ones we're not going to speak of, which writing sucked. But, I mean, the original trilogy and the current trilogy going on, these come full circle back to each other. And we're playing off of one to talk about the other and vice versa. And I mean, that just makes for a great story. So if you haven't watched Star Wars either, you need to go watch Star Wars.
Oh God, yeah.
Yep.
You can skip the original three, not the original three,
The prequels.
the prequels. You can skip the prequels because those really don't make no sense.
Yeah.
And Jar Jar Binks makes no sense.
Unless
Keep in mind, some of the stuff will look oddly changed.
Jar Jar Binks is episode 7.
Mark Hamill also,
No, I know.
when he was he had an interview recently about the Last Jedi title, and he thought it would be, and he said it had sort of a samurai feel.
Yeah, I forgot all about that.
I was
Actually,
reading about that.
Well, if you think about it, like, Luke had disappeared they've been looking for him for what, 20 years or something?
Yeah.
He disappeared. So when you talk about the samurai thing, a samurai that goes off on his own and does that is considered a Ronin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, you got Luke out there just being basically Mr. Hermit.
Mm-hmm.
But see, he wasn't just disappearing just to get away from everybody. He was looking for the ancient Jedi temple.
Right. Which did he find or not?
We don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, that gives me another theory before we go. What if Luke found a Jedi, an original Jedi in the temple?
Yeah.
Oh, that's far-fetched, but hey.
And not just one,
Well,
maybe a
Jedi order entirely.
Yeah.
another secret order of them that's been hiding for years.
Yeah,
dope.
maybe.
Which goes back to who is Snoke then?
Yeah.
Who's
Who's been around forever because he's
Yeah.
seen the rise and fall of the Empire.
Yeah.
So you're talking easy 100+ years.
Easy. Yeah, well, more than that.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
he supposedly, and this goes back to like I was talking about before, is he Pelagius where he trained the Emperor?
right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the Emperor's, he's not the original one. There's people before him.
Yeah,
but-
there's many people.
But we should cut it quits. I mean, we could talk. We hit our 30-minute mark. I don't like to keep everybody too long because they might get bored and stop listening to us.
Trent, you got anything else to add?
Well, talking about the samurai feel and the whole temple feel, my take, I think the biggest theory could be that Luke possibly found this temple, and maybe one. There could be different kinds, you never know. And that he's going to train Rey in sort of the ancient ways.
Darth Maul.
Maybe we're also talking about, she said she was very adept in the powers. What if she develops her own sort of new powers? Maybe.
It's a possibility.
She becomes one of the most powerful Jedi ever.
That could be.
With The Last Jedi.
Because turning in these temples, you could probably find, maybe not alive, maybe the spirits of them, like I said, in the Force, they could be around the halls of the temple.
Yeah.
And there's also, of course, probably books and whatnot.
Well, they say the most powerful Jedi will become the spirit and be able to communicate, and then you can communicate with the dead and stuff like that.
Yeah, like in a new, Return of the Jedi.
And maybe
you
when
can
she
see
finds
up
this
there.
temple, she can see just, different kinds of Jedi, the different fighting styles, just powers that were never fully realized. So maybe she could finally realize those.
That's a good point.
Good point. Brandon, any final thoughts?
Go Star Wars, yeah.
All right.
I agree.
Well, remember to like and share us. You got any thoughts?
No, I think we covered a lot of stuff, and again, a lot of the stuff went full circle with us. My final thought is watch the movies if you haven't seen them. I don't know what rock you've been living under.
Yeah. You ever heard
Watch
of Star
them.
Wars?
They are good movies. Even the original ones, they tell a little bit of a tale. Not the prequels. They still tell a little bit of a tale, even though it was done horribly. But it still tells a little bit of a tale.
It's like a kid's story. Like, it may be bad, yes, but it still provides like a moral
still,
to the story.
Well, it still shows you the rise of the Sith, rise of the.
And there's some good in it. It's not completely awful. Some people like just to blow it out as one of the worst movies ever.
I did like The Phantom Menace. I'm not gonna lie. I did like The Phantom Menace.
I mean, it showed the Clone Wars and everything
Order
else we talked
66
about.
and all that.
So yeah,
and
just
some of the Jedi.
watch them. Be objective about it. Watch the original trilogy and watch Episode 7. Watch all that stuff. Get used to it. Episode 8 out December 15th this year. I would. We're gonna go watch it. That's our guy trip. I think we're gonna go see.
Definitely.
We
might be a guy plus a girl. Sorry.
You
My
take-
daughter wants to go. My youngest one, she's mad that our last guy trip, she didn't get to go see the new Star Wars
That's why
movie.
it's called a
Oh,
guy trip.
my bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
my bad.
Eh, we had a kid.
Still a guy.
Oh,
Dude.
all right.
But yeah, don't forget like and share our Facebook page,
Our YouTube.
YouTube, Google Plus,
Google Plus,
Don't you-
Tumblr,
Twitter,
Instagram.
Instagram. Yeah,
Oh, our website.
our website.
Mike and Chris Reloaded at libsyn.com. And leave us
Nice.
comments, theories, your questions. We'll get back with you. More than happy to. And thanks for listening. Thanks, Trent. Thanks, Brandon. Thanks,
No
Mike.
problem.
Nice
You're
to
welcome.
be here.
I'd love to do it again.
Yep.
All right, you guys take care.
Take care.